Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Miss Bragg records all of our lessons for August because Miss Romine will be back September 1st. All right, so today we are working on a map activity. Now, in our classes, sometimes we'll do maps on paper, sometimes we'll do them on Google Classroom. Today we're going to do Google Classroom for the simple fact of this map is much easier to do on computer. When we have our next map activity in a couple of weeks, that will be on paper. So, our instructions say to follow the steps below to complete the map activity, then answer the map analysis questions. The questions are over here on the right. We can see it, map analysis questions 1, 2, and 3. All right, well, that's supposed to be 3. You know what I mean. All right, so we need to label the following bodies of water: the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, the Bosphorus Strait, and the Atlantic Ocean. We need to label the following continents, which you should already know: Europe, Africa, and Asia. And we need to label the following cities: Rome and Constantinople. Now, our map key is in the middle. So the peach color is going to represent the Western Roman Empire, and the teal color is the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire. Remember, on TN Ready, if we get questions about this, it's going to say Byzantine Empire, not Eastern Roman Empire. The solid red line represents the border between the Western and the Eastern Roman empires. So that's where they had their schism, their big split. That is the dividing line where they broke up. The purple line represents the Silk Road. Now, if you don't remember what the Silk Road is, that is the major set of trade routes going from Asia all the way over to Europe. Obviously, they traded silk, spices. That also was a center of cultural diffusion. So Asian cultures, Middle Eastern cultures, European cultures would be spread throughout the Silk Road because that's where the travelers, the merchants were. They're learning more stuff about these people that they're talking to, that they're buying stuff from, and they're spreading it, right? A modern day Silk Road would be like the internet. We use the internet to communicate with people, to learn about things, to buy things. The internet's a trade route, just like the Silk Road was. Now, the diagonal red lines represent the area controlled by Justinian. We're going to learn more about Justinian tomorrow and Friday. However, this is the guy that was the most important of the emperors for the Byzantine Empire when it was at its peak. He's the most important one. He wasn't the only one, but he was the most important in terms of history. And the light blue is water. So here is your actual map. You can see that you have boxes to type in. All right. We have boxes to type in to label our water, to label our city, to label our empires. This one up here, this one up top needs to be the water. This one needs to be the water. This darker blue one here needs to be the city. All right. Water in the top box, city in the box in the rest of here. Okay? Now you're probably thinking, but wait, I don't know where any of this stuff is. I might know my continents, but I don't know where any of this other stuff is. If you look at slides 3 and 4, you have maps to help you. You have some extra maps to help you. All right? Miss Martha should be able to help you either by leaving up slide 1 once she gets off of the video, either by leaving up slide 1 so you can constantly see what you need to label, or by leaving up slides 3 and 4, switching between the two so that you have a map key, so that you have your reference maps. I would recommend leaving up slide 1 on the projector screen. That way you don't have to keep flipping back and forth until it gets time to the questions. All right, now for these questions, you do have to think, how did the location and trade impact the Byzantine Empire? So how does their location of their capital city and their location of it, how is that going to impact trade in the Byzantine Empire? Is that going to make it better? Is it going to make it worse? Is it going to be better to trade there or worse to trade there? Number 2, compare the relative size and location of both of the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire controlled by Justinian. Remember, controlled by Justinian means diagonal lines. So are we thinking Roman Empire as a whole or Justinian's area? All right, which is larger, the whole of the Roman Empire or the area that's controlled by Justinian? And what important geographic features does each control? Okay, so what water routes do they control? What rivers do they control? Do you know of any mountains there? Things like that. Okay, so what important areas do they control? All right, when you are done with that and you have gone over it with Miss Martha, she has an answer key. Once you have gone over it, then you need to finish up working on your legacies brochure. You need to finish working on the summary. If you are finished with both of those, you need to work on something for another class, or you need to quietly read a book, or do something that will not disturb your classmates. There is no reason for you to not have your stuff done. There is no reason to not get this done with plenty of time to work on your other work. Mrs. Romine does not tolerate laziness. Okay? She doesn't tolerate laziness, and she definitely does not tolerate goofing off. When she gets back September 1st, she is going to expect you to be on your game working as soon as she asks you to. I expect the same. Go on ahead and get to work, guys. Have a great rest of your day.